Rivers in southern China began to change. They were shrinking. Some seemed to be vanishing altogether. Lush green fields turned a sickly brown. Wells ran dry. People were worried. They looked to the skies hoping for rain, but the problem felt deeper than a simple drought. The earth itself seemed to be thirsty. At first, many blamed a prolonged dry spell. It's a bad year, they would say, their faces etched with concern. The rains will come. But the rains offered little relief. Then, news stories began to circulate. Stories of strange trenches. Long, deep gashes carved into the earth, appearing almost overnight. These were not ordinary construction sites. They were heavily guarded. Villagers living in the foothills began to talk more openly, their voices carrying a mix of anxiety and curiosity. Their voices were hushed, filled with fear and curiosity, as if speaking too loudly might summon the very things they feared. They had seen things that disturbed them deeply, things that defied their understanding of the world. Unexplained lights flickered in the desolate hills late at night, casting eerie glows that danced on the horizon. Strange, low rumbles echoed from beneath the ground, vibrations that seemed to resonate with an ancient power. These were not sounds they recognized, not the familiar noises of their everyday lives. Some older residents recalled ancient legends, stories passed down through generations. They spoke of powerful dragons, mystical creatures said to sleep beneath the mountains, controlling the flow of water and the very essence of life. Could these disturbances awaken something best left undisturbed? The question lingered in the air, heavy with dread. Superstition intertwined with genuine fear, creating a palpable tension that hung over the village. The changes to their environment were too sudden, too unnatural, as if the land itself was rebelling. The land felt different, unsettled, as if it was holding its breath, waiting for something to happen. Local officials offered few answers, their reassurances falling flat. Mostly they dismissed the concerns, attributing them to overactive imaginations and old superstitions. Just rumors, they would say, trying to calm the growing unease, or they would remain silent, their faces unreadable, adding to the villagers' sense of foreboding. This official silence was unnerving, a stark contrast to the villagers' rising panic. It felt like a tacit confirmation that something significant was indeed taking place, something beyond their control. The whispers grew louder, more insistent, as the villagers sought answers and reassurance in each other's company. The unease seeped into towns and smaller cities downstream. Local newspapers printed cautious, vague articles. They mentioned unusual geological surveys or necessary infrastructure development, but the explanations felt hollow. People started to connect the pieces, the disappearing rivers, the mysterious guarded trenches, the government's tight-lipped stance. It all pointed towards something big. Online forums buzzed with anxious speculation. Posts discussing the issue often vanished quickly. Petitions were drafted by concerned citizens. Local communities demanded transparency. They wanted to know what was happening to their water, their land, their future. These appeals were met with silence or official denials. The government's silence bred deep mistrust. Section 4. The blueprint of a hidden dragon project Tianlong unveiled. Then, a breakthrough occurred. Detailed blueprints surfaced. They were leaked, revealing secrets long kept in the shadows. From where or by whom, no one could say. The origins of these documents remained shrouded in mystery, adding to the intrigue. The documents were highly technical, filled with complex schematics and intricate designs, but they showed something astounding. The engineers were left in awe, their faces reflecting the magnitude of what they were seeing, a vast network of massive tunnels, stretching far and wide beneath the surface. These were not just simple trenches, these were colossal tunnels, large enough to accommodate industrial-scale operations. Bored deep beneath the Earth's surface, these tunnels represented a monumental engineering feat. Running for hundreds, perhaps even thousands of kilometers, the scale was almost unimaginable. It was an underground river system, meticulously engineered to control and redirect water flow. The project had a code name, Project Tianlong, the Heavenly Dragon, a name befitting its grandeur and ambition. The blueprints detailed advanced tunnel boring technology, massive underground reservoirs, and high-capacity pumping stations, showcasing the project's sophisticated infrastructure. The mystery of the vanishing rivers began to make sense. The water was being redirected underground. The real work was happening far below, hidden from sight, away from prying eyes. The land was being replumbed on a scale never before imagined, transforming the landscape in ways that were previously thought impossible. Section 5. The Subterranean Colossus, an Engineered Underworld. Project Tianlong was a modern marvel of engineering, or a terrifying testament to unchecked human ambition. The main tunnels were wide enough for multiple high-speed trains. They were lined with a revolutionary composite material. This subterranean system was designed to move staggering volumes of water, billions of cubic meters annually. It was a complex network of main arteries and smaller veins. The document spoke of laser-guided tunnel boring machines. Deep underground, vast artificial caverns had been excavated. These hidden lakes could hold astonishing quantities of water. The entire operation was highly automated, monitored by advanced AI. The sheer audacity of the project was breathtaking. Section 6. The Dragon's Thirst. Unmasking the true purpose. For weeks, the true purpose of this colossal underground network remained a subject of speculation. Theories ranged from the plausible to the outlandish, each more intriguing than the last. Was it for military purposes? Some believed it was a strategic move to bolster national defense, or an undisclosed industrial mega-project. Perhaps a new frontier in manufacturing or resource extraction. The truth was both simpler and more complex. It was about thirst, a fundamental need driving an extraordinary endeavor, the unquenchable thirst of China's populous north, millions of people in dire need of a reliable water source. Major cities like Beijing and Tianjin along with the North China Plain suffered from chronic water shortages. The situation was becoming increasingly dire. Project Tianlong was the hidden component of a larger endeavor, a secretive yet crucial piece of the puzzle. It was a clandestine extension of the South-North Water Transfer Project, a project designed to address the water crisis. This massive project aimed to channel water from the south to the arid north. A monumental task requiring immense resources and planning. Project Tianlong was its secret, more efficient twin, a hidden lifeline designed to operate under the radar. The official project faced criticism for its environmental impact and displacement of people, concerns that could not be easily dismissed. Project Tianlong may have been an attempt to bypass this scrutiny, a covert operation to ensure the survival of millions without drawing too much attention. Section 7. A double-edged siphon, progress, pain, and a parched future. For the North, Project Tianlong was a lifeline. Water arrived in quantities previously unimaginable. Reservoirs began to fill. Industries could operate with greater security. The immediate crisis of water scarcity was averted. It was hailed as a triumph of human ingenuity. But this progress came at a steep price in the south. Ecosystems reliant on the diverted rivers showed signs of severe stress. Ancient wetlands began to shrink. Fish populations plummeted. Farmers found their irrigation systems failing. Entire communities were displaced. The true scale of the environmental disruption was immense. The long-term consequences for biodiversity and soil health remained unknown. Project Tianlong stands as a reminder of the growing global thirst,